In the dawn of the pharaohs, when gods walked among mortals and their hands shaped the affairs of humankind, Egypt was the cradle of profound secrets and hidden powers. Our tale is woven around an ancient curse, bound to one of the most potent symbols of protection and strength in Egyptian mythology, the left eye of Horus, the eye he sacrificed in his epic battle against Set, the god of chaos and darkness. Legend held that the left eye of Horus was not merely a hieroglyph of healing and safeguarding, but also a key to a veiled gateway, a nexus between our world and others, realms inhabited by beings older and more formidable than the known pantheon. Following Set's defeat, the fragments of the eye were gathered and rejoined by Thoth, the deity of wisdom and magic. Yet it was whispered that a sliver, imbued with a unique and malevolent power, remained lost, concealed in a place known only to a select few. During the reign of the young and controversial King Akhenaten, who dared to challenge Egypt's ancient beliefs and unify the gods under the Aten's singular worship, cryptic prophecy surfaced, foretelling the return of the left eye of Horus's missing fragment. The aged words forewarned that whoever possessed this lost piece would wield unparalleled power, the ability to command the destinies of both humans and gods, but in return would unleash shadowy forces threatening to unravel the very fabric of cosmic order. Senifer, a young and ambitious priest within the vast temple of Karnak, became captivated by this prophecy. His interest was not driven by a lust for dominion, but by a profound dread for Egypt and the world, fear of the sinister entities that might awaken. He embarked on a clandestine quest to locate the missing shard of the left eye of Horus, guided by time-worn texts, cryptic maps, and encoded messages left behind by past priests who had cautioned against its power. His journey led him across sweeping deserts, into desolate tombs within the Valley of the Kings, and to secret libraries hidden beneath age-old temples. In every location where he discovered a clue, he sensed an unseen force surrounding him, as if he were being watched, his path deliberately obstructed. He was plagued by vivid dreams, visions of a black eye staring at him with an ancient malice and anticipation. One night, as Senifer rested within an ancient cave near the towering pyramids, the spectral form of an aged priest materialized in his sleep. The phantom cautioned him of imminent peril, revealing that the missing fragment of the eye was guarded by formidable sentinels, beings not of the human or the familiar divine realms, but entities born from the primordial darkness before creation itself. Senifer awoke with a jolt of terror, yet his resolve remained unbroken. He felt the sands of time slipping away, the shadowy forces already stirring. He pressed on with renewed determination, guided by an enigmatic symbol that recurred within the texts he studied, the mark of a serpent coiled around a black sun disk. Ultimately, the symbol led him to a concealed chamber beneath a forsaken temple in the oasis of Siwa. There, he unearthed a hidden room adorned with carvings unlike any he had encountered before, depicting beings both human and animal in form, engaged in strange rituals before a colossal eye crafted from a lustrous black stone, the missing fragment of the left eye of Horus. As Senifer approached the eye, he felt an immense power emanating from it, a force both alluring and terrifying. Fleeting visions flooded his mind, glimpses of alien worlds, distant galaxies, and beings wielding powers beyond comprehension. But he also saw a consuming darkness, a chaos threatening to extinguish all existence. In that pivotal moment, a shadowy figure emerged from the gloom. Clad in a black cloak that concealed his features entirely, his voice was yet familiar to Senifer. It was the voice of Amun, the high priest of Karnak, the man Senifer had long regarded as his mentor and guide. Amun revealed his face, his eyes gleaming with an unnatural light. He confessed that he too had sought this power, not to safeguard the world, but to command it. He admitted to a clandestine pact with the forces of darkness, revealing that the return of the left eye of Horus's missing fragment was the key to their resurgence into the world of the living. A fierce struggle erupted between Senifer and Amun. Senifer relied on his knowledge of ancient incantations and the strength of his faith, while Amun drew power from the dark eye of Horus. In the end, Senifer managed to defeat Amun, but the black eye slipped from the fallen priest's grasp and shattered upon the stone floor, unleashing a potent pulse of shadowy energy. Amun vanished into the darkness, but the chamber began to tremble violently. Cracks spiderwebbed across the walls, and strange sounds echoed from the depths of the earth. Senifer felt that something terrible had been awakened. Senifer stared at the spot where the black eye had shattered, but found nothing save a patch of dark ash. Suddenly, a new inscription materialized on the wall before him, depicting a black serpent coiled around an empty eye socket. Senifer did not comprehend the meaning of this new glyph. Had the power of the dark eye truly been destroyed, or had it merely assumed a new form? Had Amun retreated into the shadows to gather his strength? And had the ancient beings, warned of by the spectral priest, already begun their crossing into our world? Senifer left the oasis carrying more questions than he had upon his arrival. He knew that the battle was far from over, and that the curse of the left eye of Horus still lingered, threatening to alter the destiny of Egypt and the world forever. As he gazed into the enigmatic horizon, he could almost hear the whispers of eternity beginning to unveil their most terrifying secrets. Days bled into weeks, and Senifer found himself haunted by the image of the black serpent and the empty eye. Sleep offered no respite, only fragmented visions of shadowy figures moving just beyond his sight, and whispers that seemed to slither into his very thoughts, speaking in a language he didn't understand, yet felt deep within his bones as a primal warning. He sought counsel from the remaining high priests, but they were as bewildered as he was, their ancient texts offering no clear interpretation of the serpent and the void. Driven by a growing unease, Senifer returned to the oasis of Siwa. The hidden chamber beneath the temple remained as he had left it, the air thick with a residual energy that prickled his skin. He meticulously examined the walls, searching for any further clues, any indication of what the serpent and the empty eye might signify. It was then he noticed another inscription, hidden beneath a layer of dust and almost invisible to the naked eye. It depicted not just one serpent, but two, intertwined around the empty eye socket, and beneath them, a series of celestial symbols, aligning in a pattern he recognized from the astronomical charts within the Temple of Karnak, a pattern that would occur only during the next lunar eclipse. A chilling realization dawned upon Senifer. The shattering of the black eye hadn't destroyed its power. It had merely changed its form, perhaps even multiplied it. The serpents, ancient symbols of both creation and destruction in Egyptian lore, now seemed bound to the empty eye, waiting for a specific celestial alignment to unleash their influence once more. And the fact that Amun had vanished, not perished, filled Senifer with a gnawing certainty that the corrupted high priest was still out there, perhaps even empowered by the fragmented darkness. Senifer knew he couldn't face this growing threat alone. He sought out the most skilled and knowledgeable individuals across Egypt, wise women from remote villages, hermits who had spent decades deciphering forgotten scrolls, and even a disgraced necromancer rumored to possess forbidden knowledge of the underworld. He shared his discoveries, the prophecy, the serpent and the empty eye, and the looming lunar eclipse. Some scoffed, dismissing his fears as the product of a troubled mind. But others, their eyes widening with a dawning recognition, spoke of ancient legends, hushed tales of a time before the familiar gods. when serpentine entities held sway over the very fabric of reality, and the void was a gateway to unimaginable power. As the lunar eclipse drew nearer, strange occurrences began to plague Egypt. The Nile turned a murky, unsettling shade. Livestock sickened and died without explanation. Nightmares gripped the populace, filled with images of coiling serpents and a vast, empty darkness. Senifer felt the very air growing heavy, charged with an unseen energy. He knew the gateway was stirring. On the night of the eclipse, Senifer and his small band of allies gathered at the hidden chamber in Siwa. The moon hung like a crimson tear in the inky sky, casting long, distorted shadows across the desert. As the celestial alignment reached its peak, the inscription of the two serpents around the empty eye began to glow with an eerie internal light. The air crackled with power, and the ground beneath their feet vibrated intensely. Suddenly, the empty eye socket on the wall began to swirl with a vortex of shadow. Whispers, no longer faint, but a cacophony of voices, both ancient and malevolent, filled the chamber. And from the swirling darkness, a tendril of pure shadow snaked out, coiling and reaching, as if seeking something or someone. Senifer felt a cold dread grip his heart. Was this the return of the ancient entities? Was a moon behind this resurgence? And what was the significance of the empty eye? Was it a void waiting to be filled, a gateway about to fully open? As the tendril of shadow lunged towards him, Senifer could only brace himself, the weight of an unknown future pressing down upon him. The whispers intensified, the darkness beckoned, and the secrets of the eternal void remained, terrifyingly, yet to be fully unveiled.